Yeah, hello everybody. It's good to have you right here again. This is Jeff 316, and you are on to Love DNA Season 1.0. Love DNA Season 1.0. It's good that we are putting one or two things together so that we can um, help people about relationship, help people how to get their marriage properly done, properly put in place, and how to encourage young people, especially young people who are not yet married. They needed to be encouraged because the truth about it is, I believe strongly that if we have a very good training program, empowerment program in the correct way for young people, we'll be able to save a lot of marriages that are crashing. Uh, Trying to work on existing marriage is a lot difficult. It's possible, but a lot difficult. But if we are able to talk to young people, help them about relationship, it's going to be a lot more beneficial. So this is Jeff Oluwagbemiga. Today I like to be speaking. I like to speak on how to spell marriage. How to spell marriage. I've done this before at church level, but I decided to do it here and break it into pieces. How to spell marriage. You can define marriage the way you want to define it, but I know that marriage is a contract between a man and a woman, so that they can consistently live together. It's a conscious and a deliberate and intentional decision. Nobody should push anybody into it, and nobody should feel constrained to marry somebody that you don't probably like. You must own it. Yes, you must own it. So, and I also like to say this, that we do apologies to those who are prophets, who are called prophets. You can prophesy somebody into marriage, why? But that prophecy might not sustain that person in the marriage. There's a lot to be done. A lot to be done. Prophecy might just be an indicator or a direction, but from that place the person needs to put a lot in place. Let me go on. I have just about 20 minutes. I don't want to take your time on this, so you're welcome. I can see Abdulaziz Popola, that's Kano guy, used to in Kano, as Rotimi, Michael, Abuja, Adeyemi Sosonya, Abuja. I can see you all there. Thank you very much for joining me. So I like to spell marriage starting with the word M. Marriage has in about 8 letters. M-A da 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 da. So the M now for motivation. So I won't ask you wetin be your motivation, wetin dey motivate you say wan marry, wetin I see my bishop from UK, Bishop Julius, I throw a salute. So the M is for motivation. Wetin dey motivate you to marry? What is that thing that is pushing you to get married? What is that drive? What is that reason? What are your intentions? What motivates you needs to be strong and sustainable enough, or else as soon as this team goes down, your relationship also goes down. As soon as this team of I won't marry, as soon as this team goes down, every other thing goes down. So that motivation must be consistent, must be strong enough to sustain you. Don't forget that marriage is not something of 3 years, 2 years, 5 years. We are through, we want to go. No. It's something that should be a lifelong thing, as long as both of you live. Even though along the line there might be crisis, there might be situation, those things are part of it. They're just part of things that happens to people. But you must have enough motivation to continue, and that motivation must be renewed on daily basis, or must be renewed. Because if that motivation is not strong enough, if that motivation is not concrete enough, and provides you what can I call it now, a foundation, a conviction that provides a good foundation for you, you ain't going nowhere. Now, this is where God comes into the picture. Yes, God comes to this picture because God helps you with his leading if you invite him to it. But some of us think we are just so good enough and we don't need God. We can reason things out ourselves. We don't need Jesus. We don't need anybody. We want to reason things out ourselves. No, you can reason it out. No problem. But when some crisis come, which is normal, the shaking will come. The only thing that you'll be left with after the shaking or during the shaking will be your conviction, which is actually your foundation. Don't forget that. So what's your motivation? Why do you want to get married? I keep asking people this question. Every time people come around for counseling or for training, we do couples training. We train, we do premarital training, and then we do this thing we call fresh case package for those who are already married but probably missed out a few things during their courtship, or maybe they didn't court at all. We do those and we ask them, why did you get married? I can see Dr. Okwaredeji there. Thank you, my guy Jayolamotoye. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So Jadiwali. Okay. Great people. So, what is your motivation? If you are motivated by material things, don't forget that material things are ephemeral. Oh yeah. They know they last though. Even sometimes those things, even if they last, after a while you go look around, you go see say the thing wey the sustain mind, no be those material things. One day you go look at that proud the way they jazz you now, you go feel like make you set that thing on fire. Your motivation must be concrete, must be consistent, must be able to sustain you for more than the wedding day. You know, there's a difference between that wedding day is just one day, just one paparazzi day. If you invite 3 persons or 2 persons, it does not even affect the functionality of your marriage. And if you invite 1 million, it does not even increase the functionality of your marriage. We all know that. Those are things that we already know. So, what's your motivation? What motivates you must be strong enough. I've said that. Must be sustainable and must be consistently renewable. You know, if you are doing anything and you don't set a goal, you are likely not to do the right thing that you need to do. But after setting goals and you have met that goal, if care is not taken, you might your zeal might just go down. But you need to renew it. Let me go to the next point. I'm just doing 2 points today, and then I'll go over it again. Then the next thing, are you accessible? The A, you know, I say I'm spelling marriage. How do you spell marriage, or how to spell marriage? The M is motivation. What's your motivation? What's the giz that's pushing you? Then the next one is accessible. Are you accessible? Thank you, Joanna Adeyileka. Thank you very much for coming up here. Okay. Are you accessible? Some people are just natural loners, recluse. Please don't go to a relationship where you're going to break somebody's heart, including your own. Some people say, no, I like my independence. Nobody's going to touch my independence. And you want to get married, don't plan it, because marriage is going to take away your independence, and then you become interdependent on the person you're going to get married to. So many people are married today, and they keep asking for a me time or my time that's like 23 hours of the day. I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to be on my own. I like my privacy. If you like your privacy to the point of worshiping your privacy, please don't get married. And if you're married already and your issue is all just that 23 hours of the day you want to be private, you are technically single. Yeah, you are just technically single. You might, and unfortunately, you'll be breaking somebody's heart. You're going to be throwing somebody's cat overboard by doing those things. So yes, Joanna is saying there that material things bring temporary happiness. Temporary happiness, not even joy, it's happiness. Okay, let's go. So if you are a recluse, you want to live a life of loneliness, you just want to stay on your own, you don't want anybody to trouble you, please don't trouble somebody else by falling in love, or don't trouble somebody else by accepting somebody's love. Just tell the person that, see, I'm a loner, I want to remain alone all my life. Just be straightforward and not to do that. Because if you are a consistently bottled up guy or bottled up babe, please don't enter into it. Just stay out. Just tell the people that the person who's coming to trust you, or you're trusting somebody, tell them that where I'm actually by calling I am a loner. So you don't need somebody around you. Don't drag somebody into it. Don't pretend as if all is well or it's not well. Wait until you seek professional help. Let people like me and other people around who knows what they're doing about this behavioral thing. We can help you unbundle yourself. You are a package that is yet to be unbundled. Until you are well unbundled, people will not have space into you. You understand? So if you are too bottled up, you are too tight up, please don't just come into marriage. Please don't come into marriage. If you're already married and that is your situation, ping me and let's see how we can help you. We can be unbundled if you are willing. I'm a professional psychologist, and don't forget that it's not free. The unbundling is not free. So we need to know that we can do that through counseling or through whatever means, and to help straighten you out. So the first point I made today is the number 1 M. we are talking about marriage. The M is motivation. And the next one is accessibility. Are you accessible? All those people who think, a lot of us actually think that it's possible that you marry somebody and yet you don't reach out to them, and then life can go. I mean, life goes on. He does his own, I do my own. Life goes on. Life doesn't go on like that. That's what I'm telling you. You can tell me life is going on and then the other person cannot have a way into you. You cannot discuss properly, you cannot communicate effectively, and you are married to your job, or you are married to your religion, or you are married to your church, and that's not marriage. You are technically single. For those who are not yet married, listen to this thing I'm telling you now. If your challenge is about accessibility, first of all, be accessible. When you are accessible, then you go ahead and get married. I'm taking just 2 points today. Let me just go over the first thing I said, motivation. Don't forget that in the last episode, we talked about ATM. You can put all these things together. If you are joining them together now, you can see it's making some sense. At least it makes some sense to me. I'm speaking. I said there are 3 things that you need, not just 3 things. I just mentioned 3 things. And for you to remember, I said it is ATM. No be ATM for money, or no be one way you go carry somebody's car, go put some money inside matching, go collect money. No, this one is appreciation, trust, and modeling. I said if you know you cannot appreciate people, don't work the marriage. You understand? Don't just walk into it. Then you need to appreciate. Then you need to trust, and then you need to model the kind of behavior you desire. So if you join that one with what I'm saying today, I've not finished. How to spell marriage is going to be like in I think about 3 or 4 series. Today we're taking the first 2 letters. So in the process, as you are listening to me now, try to join it with what I said before about appreciating, about trusting, about modeling. If you cannot appreciate people, if you cannot trust people, there's nothing you want to model. It's definitely, just there. ATM, appreciate, trust, and model. Model that kind of behavior you want. Don't come and tell me that, see, you're going to take me the way I am. Take me the way I am. How are you? Can you marry yourself if it's the other way around? You gotta be realistic, you gotta be truthful about these things. Nobody's forcing themselves on you. So you don't just force yourself on other people. And you don't cajole them to thinking that you know what you're doing. At the same time, you're not bringing what you need to bring to table. You know one thing about life and about marriage, it's not compulsory. Marriage is not compulsory. It's not compulsory. Yes, as scripture said that a man should leave his father and his mother and cleave to his wife, and the other way around, wife too should leave and cleave, and then they'll come at a particular point and get married, because that's the point where you live and meet. That's where marriage happens. But you see, it's not just about living. If you are not going to live body, soul, and spirit, and if your mind is not in what you are doing, don't bother to live at all. No be say you go come out your father's house, and come out your mother's house, you meet at T-junction, and you won't marry. Another thing that you need to do, you have not done. Then the living and the cleaving can just be a fruitless effort. Don't forget what I just said today. What's your motivation to get married? What's your motivation? It must be strong enough. Yes. It must be sustainable. Yes. And it must be something that when you refer to it, you are happy. You don't just think about it and feel sad. That's why I tell parents, it's not right, quote me very well, it's not right for parents to dictate to their children who to marry. You should advise them. Somebody will just come and quote Bible for me, and the Bible says that in Ephesians 6, children should obey their parents and do whatever. But if you read that in down to 3, I think verse 4, he said, parents, do not provoke your children to wrath. Meaning, don't frustrate them with your traditional belief that it does not hold water against 21st century. I know a lot of people that are there and that their parents have refused them to get married, and they are growing. They are 40, 41. I know people that are 45. Their parents have refused. What kind of parents is that? Don't forget that your parenting thing ends at 18 years. From 18 years, you are seeing your result. Meaning that if a child cannot, your 30, 40-year-old girl or guy is not allowed to make up his mind, it means that you have failed as a parent. That's by the way. That's just by the way today. You fail as a parent if you are still dictating to your children or who they should marry, and they are 35, 40. That means you have not trained them enough to be able to make a good decision. You should face parent tribunal. You tell to go and understand. Okay, Let me just round up today. I don't have to go beyond 20 minutes. Motivation. Whatever thing you are doing, this thing that I'm doing, I'm motivated to do it because I have come across people in counseling situation and I've trained a lot of people, and I find that the missing link is just knowledge. It's not love that makes marriage to work. It's not love. I'm going to talk about that later. It's not love. Love is not strong enough to single-handedly make marriage work. Love will be stranded if left alone to make marriage work. Love requires pillars. We're going to talk about that one later. You say, I love him, I love her. It's not enough. It is not enough. Yes, I like that. I said culture pushes many people into marriage when they are not individually fulfilled or prepared. Yes, and culture does not hold you, is not strong enough to keep the marriage running. So you as an individual must know exactly what you want by the leading of God, and you must be able to make up your mind. And for those who are married, don't ever abuse your wife or abuse your husband or speak to them in derogative manner, because they are the evidence of your ability to make a choice when you have the options. Your wife is the evidence of your ability to make a choice. So if you look at your wife and say, look at this woman, yeye woman, then that means when you are making a choice, you are not brilliant enough to pick something that is not yeye. You end up picking yeye. Now your problem, and you must change. You must begin to watch your word and watch your language, because those things bounces back to you. Yes, I'm going to stop here. This is Jeff 316 on Love DNA 1.0. The thing where we talk is say marriage and a good thing. But the thing we say, if you know what you want to do, no plan and where. If you don't know the reason why you want to enter, no enter. Just stay for that domot until you get enough information. When you get enough information and you know what you won't find, don't tell me say you don't hold enough. What you want to take age do? Age does not make marriage to work. So many things. Knowledge makes it to work. And then don't forget, you must be motivated, correctly motivated, and then you must be accessible. Don't mind somebody and say, me, I'm alone now, nobody must disturb me. Then don't get married. For those who are married and having these challenges, ping me and let's see what we can do about it. Thank you very much. I'll come your way again on Wednesday. Yes. Thank you very much. Chris, I've been in. We go talk, Chris. I'll call you after. All right, I did your domot step. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate you. God bless you. See you again on Wednesday, 9 p.m. Share this thing and let your friends know that something is happening 9 p.m. on Mondays, on Wednesdays, and on Fridays. Thank you very much. See you again. This is Jeffrey 16 signing off. Thank you. Thank you, everybody that have been online. Thank you for Joanna for your contribution. Thank you for Chris. Thank you. OS is there. Thank you for Clinton. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Dokwadedeji. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pastor Jai. Thank you, Keluwa Yehomi. Thank you, Soji. Thank you, Pastor Julio. Thank you, Abdulaziz. Thank you, Rotimi. Thank you, Adiyemi Susanya. God bless you. Thank you very much. God bless you. Bye.